We are approaching 2023, and like in previous years, I always bring the list of racing games that should come to 2023. Obviously, there is the possibility of these games being delayed. The first game on the list is new Forza Motorsport. It will not be called Forza Motorsport 8 because this game, according to Turn 10, will be a reboot of the franchise, bringing the essence of the first games. Recently, the company, through Twitter, asked players to suggest ideas and resources for the game. While it's great to hear from players, it could also indicate that the game is still in the middle of development. We don't have a date, but the forecast is to come between March and June, but this can still be delayed. I hope it isn't. Forza Motorsport will come to Xbox Series XS, PC, and Cloud. The next game is one of the most anticipated of the year. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will replicate the island of Hong Kong in full scale and will bring a complex story, where two clans, the Streets and the Sharps, fight for power in the city. The map of Hong Kong, reproduced in real scale, will bring different biomes, from a living city full of bright buildings, as well as forests, beaches, and natural wonders. Solar Crown will bring a multitude of luxury and sports cars, where you can customize these cars and also your character. We will have brands like BMW, Land Rover, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Mercedes, Porsche, Koenigsegg, Apollo, Dodge, and Bugatti. Despite the 11-year gap since the last game, the new title will maintain the characteristics of the other games in the franchise. The game that would be released in September of this year has been delayed to 2023 and may not be delayed any longer. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown will be released for PS5, Xbox Series XS and PC via Steam and Epic Store. THQ Nordic showed this year what Wreckreation will be. Working on the same basis as Wreckfest, the game is even more promising as it is a gigantic map of 250 square miles full of biomes, where players will have an infinity of platforms, ramps and objects of the most varied kind to create tracks and circuits to play on. The idea is to be one of the greatest sandbox racing games ever created. Another new of the game is that you can link your Spotify account to it and play your songs while playing, but this is only for those who have Spotify Premium. The cars are fictional versions of real-world cars, just like in Wreckfest. In the trailer we can see an excavator and I believe other crazy cars will come, like the iconic sofa car, which is in Wreckfest. The game should be released on the 23, but we still don't have a date. Wreckreation will come to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS and PC. Now in the hands of Codemasters, WRC 23 will be EA's big news this year for racing games. Built on the platform of the cancelled Dirt Rally 3, WRC 23 will bring as a novelty the possibility of building a car completely from scratch, as if we had just entered the famous Rally Championship. Players will be able to test the built car and exchange parts if necessary, before confirming the build and paying the amount. In addition to building your own car, you'll also be able to customize just about everything in it, including the steering wheel, digital display, and even the seatbelt design. The game will have the 16 individual classes that already exist in the current game, including WRC2, F2 Kit Car and H1 FWD. It is not yet known which platforms it will come to, but if we think about the complexity of the game and market trends, it should only come to the new generation and PC. For those who like a realistic simulator, then Rennsport is the right game. The game being developed by competition company GmbH on Unreal Engine 5 is still in the alpha version, and had some materials released. This version features a BMW M4 GT3, a Porsche 911 GT3R and a Porsche Mission R, as well as the Hockenheimring track. The game will have the option of VR already at launch and the focus of the game is realism and esports competition, and there is already a partnership with ESL Gaming, which is known for Counter-Strike, World of Tanks and Battlefield tournaments. This shows that the game will rival Assetto Corsa and e-racing. It was revealed that each car in the game will have a unique code, and this code will keep the car's history, even when it is sold to other players. Despite having an internal trade, it will not be an NFT game. The idea is that an open beta will be released sometime in 2023 and then released for PCs at the end of the year. There are possibilities of a future release for consoles, but they aren't sure about that. Now that Formula One has consolidated itself in the hands of EA, the question that remains is, when will the games leave the old consoles? I believe it will be in 2023. Formula One took 2 years to arrive only for the previous generation, but with the pandemic, superconductor problems, Codemasters purchase, and among other things, what was going to happen this year was probably postponed to 2023. So it may yet be that Formula 1 23 comes to PS4 and Xbox One. All Formula 1 games always brought something different. This year we didn't have the story mode, but we had the Formula 1 Life, with customization items and road cars. It was revealed that the story mode will return next year, But will this time the story be more interesting than the breaking point? Well, we'll find out when the game arrives. Besides, I don't believe in big changes. The third TT Isle of Man game will feature 32 different courses, and that includes current and historic courses. In the game we will have almost 40 different bikes and riders, including superbikes and supersports. Physics has been completely overhauled to further improve realism. The great new of the game is the open roads, where the player can freely walk around the island that lies between the United Kingdom and Ireland. There are 124 miles to find points of interest and complete challenges, including online competitions and weekly and monthly events. It was announced in the trailer that TT Isle of Man Ride of the Edge 3 will arrive in May of next year for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam and Epic Games. The successor to the 2006 game, GTR May 2nd, come in 2023. What was previously called GTR 3 was confirmed this year to be GTR Revival. The team that is working on the game is the same that made the first game in the franchise and is being led by Ian Bell, former head of Slightly Mad Studios and creator of the Project Cars franchise. As with the first two games, GTR Revival is supposed to be simulation-focused. According to Ian Bell, GTR Revival would be an R-Factor 2 adjusted in the world of Unreal Engine 5, which should make this game a visual and performance wonder. We don't have a date yet or on which platforms the game will be released, but there is a small, but remote, chance of it being released next year. Let's keep waiting for this. I believe this is the most anticipated kart game ever. This game is about Disney Speedstorm. I say this because Disney has a vast amount of characters and environments that will make this kart game something amazing. The player will be able to compete with iconic characters like Jack Sparrow, Mulan, Sully, and even the greatest of all Disney characters, the Mickey Mouse. The game will have mechanics of nitro, drift, and dynamic environments that change according to the turns of the course. There is a prediction that the game will work high on multiplayer modes and, by the way, will have many updates and content. Additional content has already been announced featuring Monsters Incorporated. There is still no date or which platforms the game will be on, but they should announce it soon. Well, these are the games coming next year. Obviously there are other annual games like MotoGP 23 and NASCAR 22, but I've focused here on the most anticipated ones or the ones that should bring more news. There is still a prediction that a trailer for The Crew 3 will be released this year, announced the game for 2024, since according to rumors, The Crew 2 should only have content until June next year. Another game that is being developed by EA is Need for Speed 2024, which will probably be called Need for Speed Shift 3. And this seems logical since Slightly Mad Studios, developer of Need for Speed Shift 1 and 2, belongs to EA, and with the cancellation of Project Cars 4, the folks at Slightly must be working on this new Need for Speed. Still talking about Need for Speed, there were rumors of a remastered game of the franchise to be released soon, but we don't know if the project really existed or if it ended up being cancelled. Let's hope for a remaster still in 2023. Well, is there any of these games that excites you a lot? Say it in the comments. For more videos like this video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye.